Hey, this is Family Today with Fumi Johnson, and it's a beautiful morning. And we've been talking about the things you need to put in place just before you say, I do. We call it the 10 commandments of dating, the laws or the rules of relationship. And if you're just joining us, this is 92.3 Inspiration FM. You're single, you're yet to sign the dotted lines. I want to ask you the question: do you know how to attract the right person? And do you know how to identify this one person when he or she shows up? And then you want to know, why are relationships failing and what can you do to fail-proof your relationship? Then you have to stay tuned. And we've talked about the first law, which is you must have a life. The second law is that you must use your brain. I'm sure you want to know what's the acronym for brain. And then the third law is you must be equally yoked. We talked about the danger of being unequally yoked. And today we're going to law number 4. And what's this law? Very, very simple. Thou shalt take it slow. I'm going to say it very slowly. Law number 4 is thou shalt take it slow. What does it mean to take it slow? Have you ever experienced it? You go to the airport. You've already bought your ticket. Your seat has been assigned. But somehow, to the counter, there's a queue and there's a rush. Right through security and immigration, you just want to be the first to get to the gate, only for you to, fly off to the gate, and then you have to wait again just before, you're called onto the plane. Why do we do that? So I ask the question again: why do we just rush? We're all going to fly at the same time, land at the same time. And we don't stop at that. Even when we now land, we kind of fly off to the conveyor belt to take our luggage, only for us to wait for another 15 minutes or 20, depending on, how many people are on that flight, for the luggages to come out. We just all have a tendency to rush. So I am not fighting you for rushing. But what I'm saying is this: take it slow when it comes to making a decision for your life partner. Now, there are 3 reasons why we need to take it slow. I'm going to share this with us from Ben Young, the author of 10 Commandments of Dating. And I want us to see what are these reasons that we need to take it slow. Number 1, you do not get to know a person in a short period. You don't just meet someone and then you just know the person because you stayed up all night, 3 days in a row, talking about your fantasies, what you like, what you don't like. Yeah, and because you also like that food? Oh my God. I said, oh, what's your favorite color? Blue. Mine is sky blue too. Oh, what's your favorite, holiday destination? I say, Hawaii. Oh, that is not enough reason. You don't get to know someone in a short while. I said, when it comes to fervent explanation as to why your relationship is different, I've had people say, oh, I know God has told me that He is the one. I actually saw it in a dream that she is the love of my life. And they use that word, my soulmate. Then you say, I've never felt like this before, so this must be it. Those are the reasons people give. Or you have stayed up, and you've talked like we can just continue to communicate without break. That means we are just perfect for each other. Beloved, my friend, those are not the reasons. There are some things you don't get to know until after a while. And then some people have, been involved with people and they've already agreed to marry. Some of them have even gone and signed, gone to the registry and called in a priest, only to discover that the person has a warrant of arrest. The person has some chemical addiction. The person is a pathological liar. But you did not wait to know this. So you can't just get to know someone in a short while. I know you're going to ask me the question, then what is the length of time you should wait? I'll go to that. Okay? Too many people have jumped into abusive, relationship with chronic debtors, relationship with people that are workaholics, just because they didn't take time to study who the person is. So I want to say this: don't risk the rest of your life for a romantic love that is not proven, that is not tested. The returns on that investment decisions are horrible. And you can't declare emotional bankruptcy to escape the losses. You can't declare emotional bankruptcy to escape the losses of divorce, of a heartbreak. Divorce pain lasts longer than you can ever imagine. It's simply impossible to get to know someone in a dash. The people that make wine, they said, we will sell no wine before it's time. So apply that to your love life and don't just, agree to marry before it's time. So you don't get to know someone in a short while. Number 2, every time-tested relationship need to go through these 4 phases. And that is the answer to my question to the one that is saying, then how long? I'm not saying it should be for, some people say the 18 months rule, some people say the 2 years rule minimum. 1 year is good, 2 years is good, 18 months is good. But really, it's about how quickly you can go through the phases. So let's look at these 4 phases that you need to put into consideration before you agree to marry the person. I said, taking it slow allows you to allow the glue of romance to dry. What do I mean by that? A friend of mine went to the supermarket and bought this Lego kind of set for her children. Now, this Lego is to make a car. And to make the car, you have to do it in 3 days. That's what the instruction says. Phase 1, you have to put the chassis together and glue it and allow it to stay for 1 day. Then stage 2, you have to put the body, together, glue it and allow it to stay for another day. And then stage 3, you put the tires and the other things together and allow it to stay for 1 day after gluing. Putting it together takes just about 30 minutes, but it takes about a whole day for the glue to form. Now, when this woman got home, the children were so excited. Of course, they ignored the manual, they ignored the instruction, and then they just went for the Lego. They put it together in a painstaking 3 to 4 hours and glued everything at once. And they say, Mommy, see, we did not have to wait, for 3 or 4 days gluing and waiting. Look, the car is here. They got their Ferrari in 4 hours. But that's not the end of the story. In less than an hour, the whole thing collapsed and could not be glued together again. The manual that says, glue one part and wait for 1 day. Glue the other part and wait for another day. Glue the third part and wait for 1 day. The person that made it knew what he was saying. If you put all of them together at once, it will break down. And that's the same way. If you escape the 4 stages of checking out your relationship, it is the manometer, is the barometer, is the thermostat, is the check. You have to go through this phase, and after that phase, the next one. It's just like getting pregnant. You cannot have your baby in the first trimester. If you get to the second trimester and you try to have the baby, you stand a 90% risk of not having a fully formed child. But when you have the baby in the 3rd trimester, the chances of the baby being perfect are high. So that's the same thing we're saying. So we need to look into these stages. Now, you're asking, what if I've already said yes, and now I've discovered some things? You still have a chance to retrace your steps if you are not married yet. Yes, this is Family Today with Ftwfj Johnson, and you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Ftwfj Johnson 1, numeric 1, Ftwfj Johnson 1. We can continue this conversation after this time. You can call 0802-318-2030. You can send an SMS and ask your questions, and you can also send me an email, familytoday@ftwfjohnson.com. That number I gave you, 0802-318-2030, is just for SMS only. And your conversation can continue on Twitter on Facebook and Instagram. This is Family Today, and we're trying to work together with you to form formidable families. We're concentrating on singles now because the quality of your singlehood is directly proportional to the quality of your marriage life. If you're a bad single, you will likely be a bad married person. But if you're a good single, if you're a conscientious single person, if you're a deliberate, intentional single person, you carry on the same person to who you are when you're married. So we're looking at the commandments of dating, the laws of dating, and we are on law number 4, thou shalt take it slow. But I will talk about that after this short break.
You're listening to Family Today with Fumi Johnson.
Okay, you're back. So we're looking at the commandments of dating, the laws of dating, and we are on law number 4, thou shalt take it slow. I said you cannot get to know someone in a dash. And number 2, you need to follow these stages. What are these stages? The first stage is the scouting stage. What do I mean by the scout? You know what it means to scout? It's when you simply test the waters to see if this person is like, you like him or not. Okay, just checking out. Like someone just invites you out, or you've met at the fellowship, or you are colleagues at work, or you met on the plane and you actually sat next to each other and you just hit it off on a 14-hour flight. It's not impossible to meet someone that you're going to marry that way. But then you notice that, when they serve you food, he was putting his hand in his mouth, he was eating, and the mouth was going, and all that. You ask yourself, what is this? It's not cute. It's not courteous. You've already observed that. That's scouting. So if the person invites you out after the 14 hours chit-chat, you are like, okay, let me be sure that this was not just a one-off thing. So you want to go and scout for the second time. At that stage, you can decide, no, this is a no-no, this is a no-no. Okay? So that's the scouting stage. But some of you don't have the opportunity of being in the flight with that person for 14 hours. Some of you have been together in class as classmates. That's enough time to scout, And then you've been together working next to each other in your office. That's also a scouting period. The scouting period is the time for you to say yes or no to yourself, even before the person moves a step further. The second stage is the infatuation stage. After scouting, you've agreed, like, let's be friends, let's go out on a second date, maybe even a third one. This infatuation stage, you actually are liking the person. You're gelling, things are working. Some people call it the honeymoon phase of the dating relationship. You seem to just end each other's sentences, you complete each other's songs, and things are just flowing like, oh my God. Yes, that may be a good sign that maybe that's the person. But that's still not enough, because the infatuation stage is actually the blinding stage. It's a stage where we say love is blind. You just don't seem to see anything wrong. Don't make a decision at the infatuation stage. You have to chill a little bit until you get to the third phase. The third phase is what I call the reality or the bite stage. The reality stage is when you just notice certain things about the person. Now, most of the time in the infatuation stage, the person will not do those negative things to you, but you would observe that they do it to this other person. Now, take the case of Tutu. Tutu fell in love with James, and it was really, really, ecstatic. It was romantic. It was wild. It was beautiful. And everybody would be like, this is what a true relationship would be. James, would see Tutu every morning before he goes to work, because he lived next street to her. And then every evening, Tutu would meet a strand of rose, at her doorstep. It was wow. But Tutu observed something, that anytime someone knocks, James will flare up. I was like, what are you doing that for? I said, I just want to spend this time with you. James was highly temperamental, impatient, really, really high-handed. Tutu decided to take it slow. Said he was going to be away for a few days just to, understand these vibes she's getting. And then found out that James is actually not only quick-tempered, is just, I'm trying to look for the word to describe it. He cannot just accept a no. He flared up, he was upset, wrote her a stinker. He wanted the relationship to be, concluded immediately so that he saw her as a project. Let's end this and move on to the next one. If Tutu did not take it slow, she would not have observed this. And that would have been her signing our own death warrant. Of course, at that stage, Tutu said, you know what? I think I want to take it easy. I think we're rushing. And then James said, you know what? I don't have that time, and cut the relationship. So the reality stage is that stage that comes after the infatuation. Now, if your heart is making giz now, I said it, the one that is making your heart Paulina, okay, take it easy. Throw a test deliberately. Ask other people's opinion. In law number 2, when we talked about using your brain, we said, you should include others in the process. Include others. That's part of using your brain. When you get to the infatuation stage, when you see that you can't sleep, you can't do anything, you think about him all the time, include others. Include your friends. Part of the thing I told you is never let your friends go when you're in a relationship, because they will see what you're not able to see in the infatuation stage. At this point, we're going to take a short break. I want you to enjoy this music.
If you want it, you can feel it in you. Feel it in you. Feel it in your soul.
How you feeling in your soul? Tell me how the tropics got so cold. Say, how you feeling when your love turns phone? Turn back up all the tropics and got so cold. How you feeling in your soul? Tell me how the tropics got so cold. Say, how you feeling when your love turns phone? Turn back up all the tropics and got so cold. How you feeling and back and I'm about to get it. I speak a word in a minute, could spit it all in a minute. I heard you a bigot, a racist, a mass misogynist. That you look around your world and tell me there's no God in this. There's no God in this. I feel sorry for you. Since you're such a baby, let me help you tie your shoe. Lace, your practicals are surely misplaced. I'm showing up your theories, about to blow it in your face. Blow it in your face, it's a bubble gum feeling. I see you twiddle D, twiddle double down, chillin'. Think cause I'm a lady that I'm no more than a cat, you're a mess. Can't you tell that I'm a lioness? Hop, strut, sway, I'm a lioness. And I do it my way, I'm a lioness, yes. And you can see it from my main shit. Never side, no sweet potato. You can keep your super story, Tony Tomato. Pulling down all of your defenses, no NATO. See, I was 506, now I'm 10 over 10 now. As the levels done change, so how you feeling in your soul? Tell me how the tropics got so cold. Say, how you feeling when your love turns phone? Turn back up all the tropics and got so cold. How you feeling in your soul? Tell me how the tropics got so cold. Say, how you feeling when your love turns phone? Turn back up all the tropics and got so cold. How you feeling and back like I never left. Rhyming crazy like Yaba left. So right I could never left behind. My story, my people, my time. But I'm always forging forward, pushing daily through the grime. And here's a prayer of a true Nigerian. Say, dear Lord, hallowed be your name. I'm doing everything I can not to go insane. Don't agree to feel the shame when my people feel the pain. Apparently not, because here we go again. With the wise underrated, the foolish celebrated, the hooligans cashing checks, the holy campaign of debts. It's getting rather intense, all this lack of common sense. My people lose their life without a sentence. I'm tempted to give up, give in, throw in the towel. But I gotta keep it wrapped, cause I'm expecting the shower. I'm expecting the shower. Showers of blessing we need. Mercy drops around us falling, but for the showers we need.
That's Miss Eva Johnson. How you feeling? She's also the one that gave us Infamous Lady. You need to find out more about her. You can go to our Instagram page, Miss Eva Johnson, and her YouTube page, and so many other things you want to know about contemporary spoken word, poetry, rap, and conscientious music, art. That's Miss Eva. So we're talking about the laws of dating, and we're on law number 4, and I'm talking about how you need to go through the process, the stages. And I talked about the 3 stages. First, scouting stage, infatuation stage, and the reality stage. Now, the last stage is the fish or cut stage. the fish or cut the bait stage. That is, either you say yes or you say no. Don't linger on. There's this song we used to sing when we were young. Wherever you go, wherever you be, do not say yes when you need to say no. You need to be able to decide. There's no neutral belongation. Don't be in the middle. Be able to say to yourself decisively. Many people have gotten married and they were in that gray stage. And up till 10 years, 15 years in their marriage, they still felt they married the wrong person. Don't do that. Then number 3, you protect yourself from getting attached too quickly. The first way is don't get into sexual intimacy. Once sex comes in, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. So even holding hands, smooshing, kissing, don't bring it on. Once you start doing that, it's difficult for your reasoning to be intact. So when you seek to take it slow, you hold off any physical affection until you are ready to enter an exclusive dating relationship. I'm saying even holding hands, even hugging, take it slow. Because once that's coming, you're not able to think straight anymore. Now, let me describe how to take it slow for you, okay? Make a commitment to identify the 4 stages in your life. That is number 1, okay? Make your first, second, third meetings or datings very casual. Don't start, putting your leg on his leg or her leg in the first day. Don't start rubbing each other's thigh on no, please don't do that. Then don't volunteer information, up front so quickly. Let them be discovered. Okay? Delay physical affection and then refrain from sex outside of marriage completely. Don't cut off your friends. Any relationship that makes you to cut off your friend is dangerous. Because when you cannot see, they see for you. Don't cut off your friends. Do not pray together all night. Don't say, yes, it's Brother James, so we have to now take all night time praying. Don't do that. And then don't start with, planning the marriage activities before you have gone through the 4 stages. I hope you understand that, and it's very, very quick and short. And then what is it that a man is looking out for in a woman? I'm saying this especially to the single ladies. Men are looking for a challenge. When you hold hands, with him on the first date, you start kissing, on that same night, and then he's no longer hunting. He's already gotten you. You fail the challenge test. Men are looking for someone to whom they are attracted. Attraction has more to do with your personality and character than your looks. Yeah, we all wear the makeup and we really look good and smell good. But what a man is looking for before, he makes his commitment is your character. And that is not on the surface. So don't jump to marrying someone that just looks beautiful. There are so many other things you have to consider. Number 3, men are looking for a woman they can respect. Contrary to what we say or think or what we hear, that what a man needs is respect. Everyone in life needs respect. Men love to be respected. Women love to be respected. But much more, a man is looking out for a woman that he can respect. Especially in our kind of culture, where a woman is not seen as being equal to a man, even though with God, the male and the female are equal. So you need to comport yourself as a single girl in such a way that a man can respect you. And how do you do that? Be beautiful and be intelligent. The beauty and the brain. The era of looking for just a stupid, beautiful woman is over. Now a man is looking for a woman who can walk side by side him to achieve the heights of life. So don't ever put your brain in your purse. You need to show forth your beauty and you need to show forth your intelligence. What about the man? What is a woman, a single woman, looking out for in a man? A single woman is looking out for a man who can stand his ground. A man that can defend his principle. A lot of times, men defer to other people. Maybe they are weak in decision making or they just can't say no. An aspiring bride is looking for a man who can defend his position. Because oftentimes women have issues with their mother-in-laws and their husbands are not able to stand. They cannot defend them or protect them against their mother-in-law. You don't need to defend or protect. You just need to be principled enough, to be able to know what is right and what is wrong. If your mother is wrong, say, Mom, I love you. But you can't do that because you've actually gone beyond your boundary. A woman is looking for a man that can stand like that. A woman is looking for a man that is hardworking. Not necessarily rich, but hardworking. Has a vision, has a goal, has a direction. So that is what you should aspire or go for. A woman is also looking for a man of God's presence. Women have found out that it's not the square shoulder, it's not the 6 feet height, it's not the, having money that is more important. The more important thing is that the man has a fear of God and someone that the man defers to. Because there can be crises, there can be issues in life. A woman wants to know that there's someone I can go to, I can call, I can report you to. So those are the things that we're looking out for just before we say, I do. And if you miss this opportunity, if you miss this process, then you are going to be in trouble. Now, what are the consequences of not taking it slow? You damage friendship with the people that you will need to have around you when you finally break up. Either when you break up in this dating phase or when you break up in the marriage phase. Okay, because what usually happens when you don't take it slow is you cut off everybody, you move on so quick, and then you lose all that relationship. And when the marriage or the relationship finally breaks, you need them. Then you risk entry into marriage and then opting out of it. You also potentially push away, something that is important to you. Sometimes we lose the right relationship just because we are in the wrong one and we are blinded by it. Now, this is Family Today with Fumi Johnson. I know you have many questions. You can send me those questions. Send it to familytoday@fumijohnson.com. That's my email. And you can send text message question to 0802 318 2030. Now, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, Fumi Johnson 1, the numeric 1. And please stay tuned every Friday, 11:30 a.m. on Inspiration FM, and we will be able to take this more. We're still talking about relationship, how to form formidable families together.
You're listening to Family Today with Fumi Johnson.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I've just been told we don't have a lot of time, and so I won't take any more questions. I will just say this so that you can go home with this. Commit yourself to go through the 4 stages. Don't be in a hurry to make a decision. Include others in this process. Don't lose your friends because they will see when you are blind. And then we continue this conversation. Remember, follow me, Fumi Johnson 1. And then you can ask me these questions on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then you can send me the text. Listen again next week, Friday, same time, 11:30 a.m. Family Today with Fumi Johnson. Thank you.
Family Today with Fumi Johnson is powered by the Capstone Church Without Walls.